speakers, thank you so much, and thank you, Laura, for your first attempt. We also have the other city supervisor here tonight, Matt Veitch, who back in the spring did I've heard, I didn't attend it, but I heard it was an excellent presentation on urban renewal, which some people, when they think of smart growth, they think somehow an urban renewal. Although there's some interchangeable terms and so forth, but in any case, I'm going to invite Matt, just come up briefly and say a few words perhaps about your viewpoint on what the gentleman presented tonight and how that...
oh, great.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to give you a couple of words. Yeah, just a moment. Matt formed and chaired the Green Communities Committee for the...
Green Committee.
The Green Committee,
yes.
Saratoga County. So?
Yes, and I'm also the chairman of the Trails Committee at the county that we build walking trails on county forest land. So we already have, in some cases in the county, open spaces that we've owned for 80 years, but by building trails on them and allowing public use, we'll hopefully preserve those open spaces in the future. So, you know, there's two-part benefit to that, you know, having the recreational opportunity, but also hanging on to county-owned land that we already have that's undeveloped and basically woodland. So hopefully we can develop more and preserve more land. But I guess the only couple things I would say is, you know, you and I maybe don't agree on very much, but
I'm not. You're not alone.
But I appreciate your comments, and I guess the one thing I would say, and maybe to take on Amy's question, is that I think the truth is the way that Saratoga Springs has our zoning laws, and to a large extent, I think is a local issue. I mean, you know, we talked about home rule earlier. The local government has a lot to say about how the community is developed. So, you know, if you take Malta versus Saratoga Springs, you can see the difference. And the truth is Malta, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, tried to do a smart growth plan, and the results are on Route 9 right now being built. I don't know if you've gone down to the roundabouts, but that massive hulking thing that they just built in the middle of their town is supposedly based on the smart growth principle. The building is up very close to the street. They're trying to make it pedestrian friendly, if you will. And the problem is that the planning board, or the town board actually, is up in arms about it. You've got a supervisor that doesn't think that building should be there. You've got a town board that's undecided. They've kind of, they're in turmoil about how they want to grow now. And they have this huge economic development project in their town. And, you know, they're going to be flush with money, and they are fighting with each other about the character of their community. Saratoga Springs, on the other hand, made a very bold decision probably 15 years ago to do the green belt idea, have a urbanized core and have a green belt in the suburban area, if you will, of the city. It's a huge city. It's as big as many towns. So we have a kind of a unique thing in Saratoga Springs where we're not a village and a town. We're a city that encompasses the size of a town. But what that does, and maybe to Amy's point, is that it creates pressure on both sides, in my opinion, for affordable housing. In your greenbelt, our zoning is for very large lots, very large houses. How are you going to get affordable housing out in the greenbelt? Downtown core, we've pushed all of our development into the downtown, which is great. We want to have a connected city, you know, nice downtown, but that also creates development pressure in downtown for high-rise condominiums, as we've seen, and you know, the gentrification that's happening in Saratoga Springs just keeps pushing the real estate market up. So again, what is the solution? I mean, how do you get affordable housing in Saratoga Springs when both your downtown core has pressure where no one wants to build affordable housing, and your outside core has zoning laws that won't let you build affordable housing? So what do you do? And I think that's the challenge for the city going forward with that issue. I think having a land trust is a good idea. I would agree with you on the fact that we don't have a good way of funding it. The city doesn't have a dedicated stream. We put money into it when we put money into it. And I would also say that, you know, the town of Clifton Park, what they did is they also did one of those deals where, you know, every time a developer comes in, they want to build a subdivision, they have to give the town a whole bunch of money for open space. They have an open space fund. It's the same thing, but it's built into their town laws and their planning codes and everything else, all the little rules that they have. money goes into a pot, and they preserve open space in Clifton Park, which may be hard to believe, but they still have some open space left in Clifton Park. It's not all developed. Western part of the town is still pretty vacant, but maybe we do the same thing in Saratoga, where we say every time a developer comes in with a condominium project, you have to put a whole bunch of money into a pool and into the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, and then we find a way to build an affordable housing project at some point. But unfortunately, I'm the county supervisor, so I don't have a vote at city council. And you'd have to just push the city council to do that and try to get that done. But that would be my take on that. And
thank you. And we appreciate
I appreciate you inviting me tonight.
And I appreciate all you've done so far and will continue to do for us. So.
I'm writing an urban renewal book now, so somebody put that bug in my ear. So I'm working on it, and hopefully at some time it'll be published. So thank
Maybe
you.
you can do the presentation here.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Love to do it.
Thank you.
Mr. Sign.
Yeah.
The last part of our meeting, we have breakout groups. We have some of the committee chairs here. As you met Laura, we have Jeff DeWeese, Energy Efficiency and Resources. We have Kathy and Cameron and John Rich for Transportation and Mobility. Raise your hand so they know who you are. We have Casey Holsworth, is Open Space and Farming.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Just really quick. Over on the wall there, we have a map of our street tree survey area and the areas that have been surveyed so far. If you're interested in helping out, I have some forms over there. Maybe you can survey your own neighborhood and whatnot. We had a big effort this fall. We have some people doing efforts on their own, but we're going to have another survey in the spring, so we're hoping to get some help with that. Thanks.
Yeah, that was very exciting. Casey's working hard at that, and also the community gardens. So I'd like to thank everybody for being here, and if you didn't sign in, the sign-up sheet is here, and we'd love to keep you posted on the future events and meetings. And I'll just welcome you now to form groups and talk amongst yourselves, as they say down on the island. Thank you.